Hey guys, it's Dan the Vegan Man. I'm still in Japan and I thought I will talk to you today a little bit about veganism in Japan. They say it's really hard to be vegan in Japan because obviously it's quite a meaty and fishy country, and there's a lot of fish stock and all that stuff in their ramen and soups and all that and all those things. So I thought I'm gonna tell you a bit about my experience. So I've been to Japan, this is my 6th time, 4 times as a vegetarian, and then now 2 times as a vegan. So I have never had an issue with finding food in Japan. As a vegetarian, obviously, it's a little bit easier because you can have eggs and don't have to worry about milk and all those things, because one of the real big issues as a vegan, if you like carbs, is bread. You know, who would have thought that I would miss bread so much? But it's like so hard to find bread that's vegan in Japan. They usually have some sort of dairy in it, sometimes eggs. Yeah, it's terrible. So I've been here over a month now and I cannot recall having any bread. Sometimes if you find a vegan cafe, they might have sandwiches and things like that. So that's always handy, but I haven't come across that this time. So yeah, I'm really missing that one. But there's a lot of things you can have. So there's a lot of convenience stores in Japan. So there's 7-Eleven, there's Lawson, there's Family Mart. Lawson is a really good one, actually. I quite like that one. So I've just been there, actually, on my way to a few temples that I'm scattering through today. So I thought I'll show you a few of the snacks I'm usually going for as a vegan. So first of all, I have to also say the labeling in Japan is not always very clear. Well, first of all, it's in Japanese, so you might want to get like an app. I've got a Google Translate app, which is really good. So basically you have like camera, like you put your camera on the label and it translates it straight away. It may not be accurate, but it gives you an idea of what is in there, and it's got me through a lot of situations where I thought it's definitely vegan, but then there's things in there like emulsifiers. And they're usually milk derived. So yeah, I was very close to getting a few things, but then I usually double check with that app just to see if I can have it or not. Eggs obviously are in a lot of cakes and things like that as well. And it's also good to have like a little piece of paper or like an app or something that tells you in Japanese that you're vegan and you can't have dairy and eggs and honey and all other animal products, which comes in very handy for me. I've been using it for years. So you basically show it to the clerk at the counter or wherever, or just a random person in the supermarket. I've done that. And you just show them the app, and then they'll read what you can't have, and then you get them to double check the labels of whatever you thinking of buying. So that's a really good thing, but at the same time, again, sometimes the labeling is so terrible. It may not necessarily say in the ingredients that there's some animal product in there, because it may be listed as others, or something that's like so general that you can't even know what it is. So there's definitely a little bit of research involved. So I've done, well, in hindsight, I've had a few mistakes, a few hiccups, thinking I've eaten vegan inaris, like sushi things with, it's like a tofu pouch. Because I've been looking through so many websites, and then that's another thing with the internet. Sometimes the information you get is not the correct one. And there's so many websites out there that give you all different ideas, different stories, different information. So it's definitely a bit of a drainer. So anyway, with the inaris, you can't have them because they have dashi in the tofu wrapper, which I only found out after. This is one of the instances where the packaging label says others, but then people have contacted the manufacturers, and then they have said others means, you know, it's dashi based, so it's like fish stock. So I was like, oh, not good. But you know, I've chosen to the best of my abilities and my knowledge. So I'm not gonna beat myself up over it. I can only make it better from now. So I've done really good research over the last few times. And so I've just been to Lawson, so I'm just going to show you what I have gotten that's really vegan and really good snacks on the go. So first of all, so let me just check my bag. Something really easy that you probably know is vegan. Bananas. It's always good to have a banana in your life. So they're really good snacks. You can get them anywhere in supermarkets and shops and convenience stores. You know, they're a great snack on the go, and they give you energy, they give you vitamins, potassium and all that stuff. So it's great when you do lots of walking. And yeah, so that's a very good go-to. The other one are Japanese beans. These ones here, emadame. You get them at the supermarket as well, so they're completely vegan. Nice little snack. And some other savory things you can have is onigiri. So another thing I've learned, so there's so many in the shelves that appear to be vegan. There's seaweed ones and bean ones, and I've just come across one today actually that says fried rice and fried noodles. It's like a rice ball. But then if you look in the ingredients, so I've used my app there, the Google Translate app, it says beef and milk. So, but then, you know, the description in English just says fried rice and noodles. So it's like you have to be really careful with that. But these ones are a very safe go-to, so I've been having these constantly because I know they're a safe bet. So it's pickled plum. They're very good. So it's a bit on the sour side, but I love it. So it's savory but sour. So pickled plum is the go-to. There's another one that's just a plain rice ball that's salted. That's also one that I have sometimes. I mean, it's not necessarily nutritious, but gets you through the moment sometimes. So pickled plum onigiris are one of my favorites. Another thing that I've found out only recently, because you want to have something sweet sometimes, mochis. These are so good. So these are like chewy rice bally things, covered in sugar and coloring. But super cheap and super easy to eat. So, but most convenience stores have them. I've only actually found them in Family Mart this time around. But this Lawson that I've just been to had it as well. So they had 3 packets, so I bought them all. Because I don't always see them. So sometimes I go to the convenience stores and I'm going just for that, so I'm roaming around and I can't see them. So when I do see them, even though I'm not looking for them, I'm just gonna get them because I know I'm gonna eat them eventually. You can just take them with you. They'll last for, I don't know, a couple days, but not with me, probably just for the day. And I know I've got a bit of a long day today, so I wanted to have some snacks as well. So obviously, you know, you want to get a coffee sometimes. Another thing with coffee, I mean, you can get black coffee, and then you can get soy milk at the supermarket as well, which is an easy thing to add to it. But again, with soy milk, you have to be so careful. It's, you know, I've seen so many YouTube videos and things where people are plugging certain soy milks and it's actually not vegan because they have emulsifiers in them that's milk derived. And I've actually asked a few convenience stores clerks about it with my vegan card, what I can't have, and they confirmed that those ones did have milk in it. So just because it says soy milk doesn't mean you can actually have it. So it's, yeah, another mistake I've made when I first came to Japan this time, because I believed one YouTube person, and yeah, so it's always good to double check and look at a few websites, and then you can make your opinion and see what you can have, what you can't have, what you feel comfortable with. So obviously I hated having that one with milk in it, so I was doing lots of research. It took me like hours to find a good website, and there's certain soy milks out there. Unfortunately I don't have it with me now, but it's usually the brand Kikoman, but not the green one. So there's usually one that's has a green packaging, and that's popular with people that want soy milk, but not vegans. Okay, listen to me. Don't have that one. Almond milk as well. Sometimes, I mean, it says almond milk, but a lot of them have honey in them. So again, you have to do your research right. So I don't have them with me, so no use really talking about it too much because I can't actually show you the packaging. Because again, I'm not prepared. Just another in the moment video of my thoughts while I have my breakfast. So I just wanted to give you a little rundown of certain things that you definitely can have, but also making sure that you do your research right. Because yeah, as I said, there's so many things out there that appear to be vegan, but they're just not. So yeah, you want to be really careful with that. But as a conclusion, it's not impossible to be vegan. There's so many great vegan restaurants and cafes, organic ones, macrobiotic ones, all that stuff. So you can definitely get lots of great vegan food out there in cafes. Or if you want to cook yourself, you go to the supermarket. It may take you a while to find the right one, but I quite like the challenge. I quite like roaming around supermarkets and look at all the stuff. You know, there's lots of tofu and fried tofu. You can have all the fried tofu, by the way, as well. And yeah, so, you know, I feel like I'm doing okay. I feel like I'm not necessarily hungry all the time. So yeah, it's definitely doable. You just have to do a little bit of research, and then that way you will not get hungry. So I'm hoping this is going to help you get you started on your journey if you are planning to go to Japan or anywhere else in the world. I urge you to just do a bit of research. That's what I usually do. I just look at certain areas where I go, and if there's like vegan cafes or anything like that, just to make travels a little bit easier. But yeah, usually if you have like a certain card in the language of your country that tells you what you can or cannot have, that's definitely going to help you in so many situations. So I recommend that, and I'll leave you with this. Well, I'm just gonna get into some of these. So I will talk to you soon. A hungry Dan the Vegan Man is saying goodbye for now.